Hey y'all, welcome back. All right, so we're gonna run through everything together. The suggestions that y'all sent me, which I very much appreciate. Everybody who took the time to write something in there. I'm gonna test the ECU. I'm going to test the coil because I've tried two different coils. I'm gonna test a different one. I'm gonna take the one off my wife's bike, or maybe I'll just try one of these on my wife's bike. Maybe that's better, so I don't damage the coil she has on there, or something like that. But I'm gonna test the coil. I'm going to bypass the bank angle sensor the best way that I can figure how to do it. And yeah, just kind of run down the list and see if any of these things will give us some spark. Yeah, I appreciate everybody who took the time to comment on there. So let's go through the things that y'all sent me and see if we can make anything happen. So the very first thing that I'm going to try is the coil. I currently have the battery off and over on my wife's Sportster, so we're just going to take one of these coils over there. But I've tried both of these coils on there, and it didn't change anything. So in the off chance that maybe both of them are bad, which was somebody's suggestion, and it's possible, it is very possible. They've both been sitting in a box for months, at least. So I'm going to try on my wife's bike and see if the coils are still hitting. And then we'll try it on here and see what's happening. Okay, so this bike here we know for a fact is sparking. I know because it shocked the piss out of me the other day. So this one has no problem sparking. Now, you just disconnect her coil. I'm not going to go through everything there. I might even bring my wires over here. But then, hey, somebody suggested the wires, so maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should disconnect these wires. I just kind of got to fish them out of there. Somebody did suggest the wires, and I mean, they're aftermarket wires. It's possible. I think the odds are slim, but I've seen crazier things happen. So I'll try the wires too, because I know that everything over here is firing like it should be. So all right, we'll just try the one probably. Okay, so that's front plug. That should be all I need to test everything. All right. This spare plug that I have, her ignition's on. Let's see if y'all can actually see it in this video. I couldn't see it the other day. Do the best I can to make it so you can. Yep, that coil is good. We do have spark on that coil. So we can check that off the list. Actually, you know what? While we're here, I might as well test that other coil just to be sure. But I'll do that off camera. But this one does work. This coil is good. So that would have been really cool. Back to square one. Another guy had suggested maybe it was these aftermarket plug wires. Like I say, both of them going bad at the same time. Not impossible, but highly unlikely. But why not sample it while we're here? So, plug this coil back in. I think. Yeah, okay, it is hooked. I just didn't hear like a snap or nothing. All right. Front one. Disconnect that from the factory. And, all right, let's see what this one does. Hopefully y'all can see it without me zapping myself again. Nope, that wire's good. I'll try and zoom in here. All right. I definitely see spark. Hopefully y'all do. Okay, so coil and wires both checked off the list. Not the problem. All right, next. So, right there, you see the fancy little lights? Boom. Ignition on. Fumble. And coil, plug. Hey, you know, these things actually don't work so great if you don't ground them. Awesome. All right, cool. Now that we did that, coil, plug. Perfect. I mean, a little bit low voltage, but I'll put it on the charger before I test anything. So we know we're getting power to the coil. Now, I was reading this wrong. Apparently, I've done this wrong, God, for as long as I know. I thought you get individual fire off each side. One's front, one's rear. Don't know which one's which. Doesn't matter. You got main power here, and apparently both of these are grounds. I thought spark plug was what took care of the ground. Like coil shoots a pulse, spark plug grounds it. I've been wrong my entire life. So I just learned that from two people on here. That was extremely helpful. Okay, it actually didn't help at all, but I learned something new. So that was cool, and I do appreciate the information. Now what I'm going to do is, from what I've figured, I think, and there's no videos that I can find, okay? But a few people commented on there and said that the bank angle sensor, and it's not so easy to bypass on this one, but I think it's bypassable. So the bank angle sensor is located in this turn signal module / security module, but this doesn't have security system on it. So this can keep it from running. You know, it's meant for if you drop the bike, you lay it over, it won't stay. It'll kill the power and it won't start back up. Looking at the wiring diagram, which I'll put on the screen for you to see, but looking at the wiring diagram, I should be able to ground out the one that runs to the start relay control to bypass this completely. And that would eliminate so much wire, because I don't want the speedometer. I don't need any of that crap. I need it to fire and go really, really freaking fast. So I'm going to attempt to bypass that. And who knows, maybe bank angle sensor is the problem. It will keep it from running, but I should be able to bypass it. And maybe I'm not even on the right tracks at all. One way to find out. Okay, so right here I have the tan with the green stripe and the black. I left enough there that I can join them back together if I need to. And right now I'm going to just try and tie them together and hopefully bypass this TSM altogether, or completely jack up the bike to where it'll never run again. At this point I don't actually care. So let's see if that causes any kind of anything. That should do it though. And I gotta find my spark plug. Where'd my spark plug go? Got him, coach. Okay, coil back in. And just so y'all know, I do talk to myself like this when y'all are not watching. No shame. Let's see, man. Fingers crossed. Bank angle sensor's got to be the one. No, still no spark. Okay. Damn it. Next up, let's go ahead and try the crank sensor. I don't think it should matter if I put a used one. I'm going to try the one off my wife's bike. And if I fry it out, I'm going to blame y'all, because she'll kill me. So, yeah, going to pull the crank sensor off hers, and we'll test that one next. All right. Here goes nothing. Oh, Mr. J Sharp 1776, you were the freaking man. Dude, you were the man, Mr. J Sharp 1776. I don't even know what to say. Well, I feel stupid. Everybody go watch J Sharp 1776. He is the freaking dude. We got spark. And I'm not really sure what to do with my hands. Well, this day just got a whole lot shorter. I'm sure a lot of y'all know the, the KISS thing. Keep it simple, stupid. I was so positive that crank sensor was just too obvious. I was like, no, because it was working for a second. Like it was thinking about it. So to me, I was like, no, because as soon as I connected them wires, at first I didn't have spark. And as soon as I connected the wires and got the crank sensor ran to the ECU, ECM, whatever you call it, I had spark. Now, it was intermittent spark. It was completely at random. It was very inconsistent, but it was spark. So I thought there's no way that part was my problem, because as soon as I connected it, I had spark. And man, I'll be damned. I feel so stupid. But hey, that's how we learn. That's why I put a video up for y'all to help. Man, J Sharp, I can't tell you, you just saved the freaking day, dude. I was about to... There was one guy that offered a great piece of Evolution. I think it was Evolution Man was his name. Sorry if I got your handle wrong on there, but his advice was to just go back to an old point system, change out not the points, but the like MSD style ignition module. And his suggestion was to just change out the cam chest for an older one, 03 and back, and just get like a shit. They're not MSD. What the hell? What are they called on bikes? There's like Dynatech or whatever. There's plenty of brands. That was his suggestion. And I thought that was a great idea too, but it was going to cost like, you know, $1,200 to do it. I found one company that's another way to do it. It was Altman is the company, and it was like AMMP3 or something was the unit, and it just runs off the crank sensor. Which, funny enough, even if I had spent like 500 something, $600, whatever that thing costed, I would have still needed a crank sensor, ironically enough. So man, Jay Sharp, you are the dude, man. You are the dude. If you're ever in the Royce City, Quinlan area near Dallas, Texas, man, you just let me know. I owe you a meal or something, man. You're the dude. But cool, so we got the spark figured out, and also on top of that, the coolest part, one thing that I was curious about, and we covered it in this video, and it worked, obviously. We have spark. So that's the bypassing the turn signal module / bank angle sensor. I wasn't able to find any information on that through forums or anything. Hey, do you mind? Do you mind? I'm shooting a video here. Nah, do your thing. It's okay. Anyway, so I wasn't able to find anything on the forums about bypassing this style of a bank angle sensor, 04 to like modern. I think it goes to current, like 2022, 23, something like that. So now that I know how to bypass that turn signal module, you know, maybe some of y'all building chopper, bobber projects that want to eliminate all that excess wire like I'm doing here, getting rid of that excess wire. Now you know, you just take that tan green wire and that ground wire, the black ground, and you just twist them together, and you can bypass all that module. And so, yeah, that was something I was curious about, but I didn't want to go messing with stuff until I knew I had spark. And now we got spark. So, back to making progress on this one, man. I appreciate y'all watching, and I very much appreciate everybody who took the time to leave helpful comments, anything positive, man. Even if you were just like, I really don't know what to say, but it seems like we're on the right track. I got a couple of those comments. Hey, man, even that was helpful. At least you weren't being a dick. So I appreciate everybody taking the time to help me out, and we got it. So this thing it's back to rolling now. I'm going to order a different crank sensor, and we're good. Thanks for watching.